Hello friends, the World Health Organization (WHO) in its findings has stated some key facts. Between 2015 and 2050, the proportion of the world's population over 60 years will nearly double from 12% to 22%. By 2020, the number of people aged 60 years and older will outnumber children younger than 5 years. The number of persons aged 80 years or older is expected to triple between 2020 and 2050 to reach 426 million. The pace of population aging is much faster than in the past. All countries face major challenges to ensure that their health and social systems are ready to make the most of this demographic shift. People worldwide are living longer. Today, most people can expect to live into their 60s and beyond. Every country in the world is experiencing growth in both the size and the proportion of older persons in the population. While this shift in distribution of a country's population towards older ages, known as population aging, started in high-income countries. For example, in Japan, 30% of the population is already over 60 years old. It is now low and middle income countries that are experiencing the greatest change. By 2050, two-thirds of the world's population over 60 years will live in low and middle income countries. As per the tradition of India, old age people have occupied the position of power and prestige in the family. But nowadays, they are becoming inactive, dependent, sick and weak in terms of economically, physically and psychologically. All these phenomena lead to several socio-economic problems. In this video, let us discuss some of the major problems that the old age people face. Before we move ahead, please subscribe to the Upfront and press the bell icon to get notification of all our updates. I am Nihal Mohammed and you're watching the Upfront. Let us discuss some of the major problems. Health problems. The most common chronic health conditions among the older population include cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes and many others. Malnutrition can result in a weakened immune system and weak muscles, which can lead to further health problems and physical injuries. As we age, our bone density decreases and our muscles become weaker and less flexible. This means older people are more likely to lose their balance and more likely to fracture or break a bone when they fall and end up having severe physical injuries. Sensory impairments to sight and hearing are also very common problems for people as they age. Good nutrition for the elderly is essential, so having a healthy diet, maintaining a healthy weight and taking regular exercise can all help to minimize the risks associated with these conditions. Doctors may be able to prescribe medication to manage these conditions, but it is also important to take control of your own health with healthy living habits. The cost of care is skyrocketing. As we get older, we require more care. The regular office visits, specialists, procedures and medications, all of these are very costly and they impact the resources of old people dramatically. Consistently, this tops every list of senior citizen concerns. Social isolation is another issue that the old age people face. In today's society, it is evident that family values are of no much importance. With the emergence of modernization, a lot of major changes have taken place in the structure of families. The joint family system, which was of high prominence earlier, is now replaced by the popular nuclear family system. People more likely avoid the emotional approach in situations of life and rather believe in the practical approach. As a result of this, the old people who need more love and respect are isolated and marginalized. This section of people are isolated or kept away from being in the mainstream of the society. They are often considered as a burden because it is very hard for them to keep up their pace with the fast growing intelligence and technology of the world. When it comes to family gatherings or events, even though old people are included, they find it very difficult to be on the same page with others. The younger generation now believes that they have to go through a tough time making them feel comfortable. Some of them consider the old people to be a burden on them, whereas some wholeheartedly look after them with love and affection. Lack of affection and care is another issue. When we see this world emerging with a greater speed, it should also be noted that they are somewhere left behind because they are unable to cope up with technological advancements. The 60, 70-year-olds in the present world are mainly used to spending time with their family, but as the family is immersed in gadgets, older people feel left out. That is the reason why they try to study the advancements in technology, but the younger generation is so immersed in this technology that they fail to give enough time to the old people. It is that time when people grow old that they need maximum attention and care. Sometimes they tend to get angry on little things, which is a major sign of aging. People lose tolerance when this happens and often treat them badly. And also, due to loss of most of the social roles they once performed, they are likely to be lonely and isolated, which results in loneliness and depression. Depression is a prominent condition amongst older people with a significant impact on the well-being and quality of life. It is estimated that as much as 70% of the older population suffer from depression, but it is not always diagnosed or treated. Many studies have demonstrated that the prevalence of depressive symptoms increases with age. Behavioral change of people, change of attitude of family members, social isolation, overthinking and many other aspects which bothers the old generation could be the reason for them to end up in depression. This is one of the serious problems of old age which might lead to many other health issues. While we are living longer, unfortunately the world of employment and retirement has not evolved at the same pace. Many elderly people are able and more than willing to work past the standard retirement age, but the opportunities are not there. In addition, managing day-to-day finances and planning for later life can be challenging for older generations as much is now done online or remotely. Due to all this, they don't have a choice left other than being dependent on their children. Again, the matter of their financial security depends on how their children treat them. If the younger generation who are responsible for looking after the old age people abstain from their duty, then the very question of financial inability to do everyday tasks that we may have previously taken for granted is likely to decline for the majority of the population. These abilities are also impacted because older people tend to have more health problems than younger people. However, declining abilities are not just the result of underlying health conditions but can also be due to social issues. As a consequence of the social transformation and evolving lifestyles, many of the older parents are landing in old age homes. The mushrooming of nuclear families, especially in urban India, has led to a steadily increasing number of old age homes. The point here lies in treating them in a way which makes them happy and satisfactory. Reverence for one's parents is deeply embedded in Indian families. Children deem it their moral duty to look after their aged parents and elders. In the last few decades, our society has undergone massive transformation in terms of family structure, and the coming generation is forgetting this responsibility of theirs. Day by day, cases of well-settled humans now begging at roads, doing small time works which their body cannot afford is becoming common. Lack of moral and religious education has resulted in man becoming a demon who is least bothered about others, even if they are the ones who brought him to the earth, fed him when he had nothing, held his hands when he couldn't walk, stood with him in all his rough times, sacrificed their own happiness for his happiness. When someone reaches their old age, they tend to act like children, and it is our responsibility to look after them as they have looked after us when we were kids without complaining. People should stop considering old people to be a burden on the society. In fact, the younger generation must realize that it is the old people because of whom we have reached wherever we are in life today. To have parents with them till their old age is a blessing anyone could ever have. It is the rule of nature that the young need to look after the older ones. If we look at human life, we observe that man needs more attention as a baby compared to other animals. He is not able to do anything but cry when he is born. But God has put within man's hearts love. Man, who is deemed to be selfish, all of a sudden completely changes when he becomes a parent and tends to work hard for the betterment of the newborn. The same way God put love into the hearts of children towards parents, which is slowly fading away due to increasing materialistic aspirations. For the world to run smoothly, this love has to continue with active expression. If you like the content we provide, please subscribe to the Upfront and press the bell icon to get notification of all our updates. Please share our videos and educate others. Thank you.